And I was brand new at the University of Washington, and his kindness struck me immediately. But more than that, it's the legacy that he's left in 4 decades working at the University of Washington. He is the quintessential behind-the-scenes Husky, and the fruits of his decades of work are there for all to see. Among other projects, Lydom was the athletic department's administrator in charge of the major renovations of Husky Stadium, Heckett Pavilion, and the Conabear Show House. And add to those new projects like Husky Ballpark, the Dempsey Indoor Practice Facility, the Softball Performance Facility, Husky Track, and most recently, the sparkling, fantastic Husky Basketball Performance Center that's brand new and just opened within the last month. He was a key player in all of those projects. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming to the stage the winner of the Dr. Don H. Palmer Award, Gary Chip Lydom.
Oh boy, thank you so much. I told myself I'm not going to get in the trap of naming everybody because I've been here 40 years, so I wrote it down so I wouldn't get too distracted. But I am overwhelmed to stand before you and accept this award that I could not have conceived happening as a kid growing up in Seattle. Thank you to this year's Hall of Fame committee, and I know this has been said, but I think it's worthy of saying again. Jeff Bechtold, who actually took my position in his current job, Dave Terrell, Justin Glenn, Detlef Schrempf, Bailey Stenson, Kim Duran, and Shannon Kelly for considering me worthy. Thanks to you. And thanks to Alex Sampson and Claire Summers, fellow Blanchette Bear, for organizing this great event. And sincere congratulations to this year's inductees. You're all true champions in every way. What a thrill to share this day with you. As you might imagine, over 40 years I've experienced the gamut of events, people, leadership styles, and trends. Currently our enterprise is quite turbulent, as I'm sure a lot of you have been reading and noticing. But I'm very grateful to serve under the stable leadership of Athletic Director Pat Chun and Deputy Athletic Director Aaron O'Connell. They're so supportive of our staff, and I thank you so much. They're doing what's right for our university. I sometimes hear people disparaging the current generation of young people, but I can assure you, they are just as motivated for achievement as any group of Huskies before them. I'm optimistic that the future Hall of Famers are among us right now and will be even more worthy. I love the John Wooden quote, "Young people need models, not critics." I grew up 3.2 miles from where I'm standing in the Wedgwood neighborhood of Seattle. Our family generation before me and my three siblings did not have a tradition of going to college. My frame of reference was for what the University of Washington represented was athletics. The Seattle Supersonics had just been born, but the biggest show in town belonged to the Huskies by a long shot. My younger brother by 2 years, Mike, and I rode our Stingray bikes, his gold, mine green, to Husky Stadium often during the 76 Killer years. It was primal and soulful to get anywhere near these Husky heroes from all sports. I'm quite sure that when the seeds were sown for a lifelong quest to be part of something so magical was them. There's the great Dr. Seuss book, "Oh, the Places You'll Go," is about following dreams. In my life, the University of Washington was the catalyst to launch me to places I never thought possible. An education and a degree from the UW opens up limitless possibilities. Having been small and not really athletic, it shows the world is diverse and in need of many roles and talents. In fact, Coach Peterson used to say, "Know your role and own it." It doesn't have to be the biggest role, but just own it. I work in the facilities and events sector of our department, which is made up of unseen teammates who toil without fanfare to make this Husky machine go. I'm so appreciative of their resolve, commitment, and talent. Just tonight, they will convert this facility into basketball playing mode by the time you're having your morning coffee. So that goes on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. My short message about the secret to a long career is simply, must be present to win. I want to acknowledge my family, sons Nick and Charlie, and my deeply devoted wife, Cynthia, the love of my life. for their support and for allowing me to follow this dream. My sisters Lisa and Lori are my muses and angels on earth. And then my Aunt Linda's here, and I wanted to tell you how important she was to me. When I was in the United States Marine Corps, I was stationed in Okinawa. She would save up the newspapers, the Seattle PI Sporting Green and the Seattle Times. That's 60 sports pages per month, and she would mail them to Okinawa. And to get a little taste of home and to read about what's going on back in my hometown was so memorable. You can't even imagine the love behind that, what it meant. And I think, speaking of the seeds, I think the seeds of being a journalist were getting those mailings every month. And so you never know when you're about to affect somebody. Finally, I dedicate this award to the memory of my brother Mike, who inspired me in more ways than he ever knew. Thank you, and go Dogs.